Welcome to Froey's Bakes and Breaks. Please like and subscribe.
So today we're going to be making pancakes.
I wanted to speed this part up because it's kind of boring, but we have our buttermilk, mixing in 1 egg, getting that nice and homogenized. All right, and now I'm going to be weighing out my dry ingredients. So I have sugar, all-purpose flour, baking powder, and some salt. You'll also see me add, or maybe not, it's too fast, but I'll add some butter. It's 3 tablespoons melted and some vanilla extract. Then we just stir. All right, hey everyone, we're back. Mixture's been in the fridge a few hours now. It's pretty, I don't know, gloppy is the right word, but it's moving, which is good. So I don't think we'll have to put anything extra in. I don't know, maybe I will. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more buttermilk actually. So we want it to move a little. It shouldn't be thick. See that? Like, it should be a little more fluidity to it. And it's not to say this wouldn't work out, but I would kind of, damn it, I got buttermilk all over me. I want to try and fix the problem before we start. This recipe makes, so it could be our mixer as well right now. Oh yeah, there we go. Trying to think of the consistency, almost like cake batter, which that makes a lot of sense since it's a pancake. See how that's more like the first one just kind of clumped, and this is more like a cascade, if you will. That's perfect. So we'll leave that out. We skipped ahead a little bit, so now I have 2 nonstick pans on the stove. Both have been heating up for about 3 or 4 minutes. And again, how quickly the butter melts will be very telling for the pancake mixture. This is perfect. It's not too much. And again, if it was too hot, we would just turn it down. All right, so big moment. I try to keep the butter sort of in the middle because definitely not making, well, sometimes they come out large, but usually, well, why don't I just do it instead of saying it? So I have a 1/2 cup measure here. And then right on. That looks a little small. I'm gonna add a little more in. And just kind of spread it out, and simple as that. Let me get the other one on, and then I'll show you what I do with the lids. So again, this is gonna go real fast. I can't imagine working like a diner doing this on a weekend. For whatever reason, this little guy, well, I guess it makes sense, it's smaller, it gets hot, it heats up faster. That's pretty much ready to go. And again, 1/2 cup don't have to be perfect. It's to your closest approximation. If it seems like there's not a lot, you can always add more. Sometimes I might kind of do that just to get a little extra out. And then what I haven't shown yet is I put the lids on. This will be really crucial as we go because the pan is going to be so hot it's going to burn if you don't do the lid. So the lid will help steam it, and essentially we'll have all these nice little bubbles that'll start to form. Right now is essentially a waiting game. We're just keeping an eye on the tops. We're watching for that bubbling to start. Once that starts, we know we're almost there, and we'll just keep an eye until we get where we need to go. You can kind of see, this is the smaller pan. So you can start it, you're starting to see the, I'm gonna take the lid off. You can see the bubbles. So that's what we want. That means it's basically getting cooked. And that's the entire reason I use the lid, to speed that process up. This one, no, it's actually, sorry, the light's terrible where my stove is. This one's getting there. You know, a little bigger, larger pan, more spread out. And maybe I'll even be a little more touchy-feely with the pancakes than I would. So we could see here we have some holes. I'm going to carefully lift up and trying to get as close as, so you can see, first pancake sucks my butt. Sorry, that sounds, that sounded bad. But you can see the color. I mean, that's a perfect pancake in my opinion. That was challenging to do without ruining it. And then sometimes I can mess the flip up. So I just try to be careful. A lot of the times I will kind of get some spillage. It's a combination of like, do we flip too early? Do you let it cook a little more? Again, in the end, like you could see that it's hard to touch because it's super hot, but we have that crispy crust along the whole outside. And I think that combined with the fluffiness from the baking powder just makes these awesome. My kids don't eat a lot of different things, but well, let me back up. One of my two kids likes these, which for me, that's a win in the kitchen because there's very little that they both like. And so this one here, yeah, I'm gonna put the lid on just to get this kind of like pocket cooked, but it's pretty much done. It'll be done in 30 seconds. The larger one, it's a little light and it's tricky to show you. Maybe you could see that just a bit, but the top is almost done. So kind of in a weird spot here where that's unusual. But worst case, if we never flip it, that's okay too. No one loses in that situation. Just so yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it's just you're gonna have to pay very close attention. Definitely need to troubleshoot here and there. But even if it doesn't come out perfect, I like that. Make sure this is in the frame nice. I was gonna say, tell me that's not a perfect pancake. Please don't. It's clearly not. But everything from here over to the right is beautiful. So pretty happy. Again, I'm just gonna kind of pull this out, pop it on the rack so it stays cool. And then we'll just kind of quickly get the next one started. So here's where kind of the pacing can become key because you kind of have to keep going. Remember, you have a hot pan, you have a hot stove, so you might need to make some adjustments, turn the heat down. Sometimes just take, again, for an electric stove, sometimes just taking it off of the hot burner, so it's on a cool burner, that can make a nice difference in how.
Just to reinforce, this is perfect. I want to eat it right now just watching this.
I mean, it certainly looks perfect. I know from eating them many times it will taste perfect. Perfect. That's brown. You can see that's a little darker, got a little black in some places. All right, gang, welcome back. What I like about pancakes too is as soon as they're done, you get to eat them. There's no letting them cool. Well, a minute or two maybe. I'm eating the slightly burnt one, and I'm not using syrup, sugar, butter, anything, and I'm doing that solely for the hope. And the hope is that I know exactly what it's going to taste like. Yeah. It's just so good. It doesn't need anything. It's not to say I wouldn't use syrup, but it came out perfect. It tastes like a really good pancake. I don't really know how else to say it. It's got that nice crust. I don't know if you can kind of hear it a little bit. Longer I sit here, I'll probably eat this whole thing. I don't know if you can hear pardon me if I'm talking with food in my mouth. I don't know if you can actually hear it crunching, but it's got a crunch. When was the last time you had a pancake with a crunch? And super soft in the middle. Again, tastes great. Without butter, it just would be missing a lot of the flavor that's in it. I'm just gonna fucking eat this whole thing while I'm trying to talk. It's so good. Even if I don't on camera, I can tell you I'm going as soon as I turn it off. And again, this is the crappiest one of the 5. Oh, pardon my back. This is the little one. Oh, it's still kind of hot. No, it still came out pretty good. I'd say color-wise, again, this was slightly overdone, but you wouldn't be able to tell if you didn't see it. And I'm super critical of everything I do in the kitchen, in general. But it looks like an 8, tastes like a 50. It's on a 1 to 10 scale. Yeah. Excellent pancakes. Don't buy the mix. I'll put the recipe on, but essentially the mix is just the flour and the sugar and the baking powder and the salt. Pretty easy. Most time you'll have that at home. You could buy all of those, the whole recipe. It can't be more than maybe $2 for this entire thing. It's super cheap. The butter's the most expensive part for sure. And I think the most important part is it's really freaking good. Like, I'm sure there are better pancakes, but I don't know how to really improve that, which to me, that's all I'm trying to do is just make the absolute best product from very simple methods. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you try this. If you do, let me know how it comes out. And we'll see you at the next one.